Women empowering women is one common term in recent times globally. In Nigeria, the women are creating ways to understand and assist each other. Women in Management, Business and Public Service, Wimbiz, is totally for this. They say they aim to be the catalyst that elevates the status and influence of women, as well as their contribution to nation building. They hold series of talks to push these ideas forward.
So our theme for this year was CEO Blind Spots, from survival to sustainability. And we're talking about some of the blind spots that can occur for a business and a CEO, where with the economic challenges, with volatility, with uncertainty, what you do is that you forget, or rather you jettison your long-term strategy and start to live day by day. That's when people look at aggressive cost-cutting measures, people start to take decisions that may not be in the best interest of the company, may not be, because sometimes it is also in challenging times that you can't find opportunities to align your strategy and look for new opportunities that will take you in a different direction.
More tips of sustainability in the midst of not very encouraging economic indices, especially for business owners.
I think that we need to, as much as possible, go back to the roots. Every time there's a challenge, you go back to your core. And so as women, as female business owners, as women in careers, you have to go back to what is true to you. So do the opposite of what most people would do, which is that to start to panic and to start to look outside yourself. I think that the advice would be, and a lot of that was said here today, there were quite a number of contributions around the fact that people are not just necessarily reducing the size of their businesses. Some people are actually looking to expand. People are looking for new partnerships in the continent. They're trying to get creative on how they manage staffing and how they build motivation and retain motivation in the top team. You know, so I'm actually very glad to see that people don't have so much of a negative outlook. This is the time to go with your passion. Right? This is the time to really follow up with that business that you are trying to get off the ground. This is the time to really focus on your customers. This is the time to be innovative. This is the time to give it away for free. I talk about that a lot as well. To say that if you want to create a market for your business, right? How many people know about how fantastic your products are? To get them to know, if they're not going to come and pay for it, why don't you give it away for free? And let people sample and let that positive experience get them to get you more customers.
But the attention is not for the chief executives of large enterprises alone. Those in the rural area, who make up more than 50% of the entire women, are included.
I think one of the most important things about rural women is to get them into the financial system. A number have either been informally served at best in the financial system, and you need to sort of get them into the formally served sector for many reasons. One, it ensures that they build structures to their businesses, because when the businesses remain small and unstructured, it's really a challenge to organize around that business and to get financing that you need. I think it's important that you bring financial literacy, to that segment, an understanding of basic banking, an understanding of how finance works. Now, don't get me wrong, they have a deep understanding of how their businesses work. They have a deep understanding of how to create value in there. Now I'm talking about a broader knowledge about what finance principles and also about business principles. As they get bigger, is there a logistics element in there? Is there a marketing element in there? Is there an HR element in there? That kind of thing. And increasingly, because financial services is being delivered through digital channels, it's making it cheaper and more easy for rural women to access. Because one of the challenges as well was that they probably don't have enough money to, fund that. In terms of when banking or financial services were more expensive, it's more difficult for you to be able to access. One, you don't have the regular cash flows to put in the bank account. Two, you can't pay for the fees. But banking is getting much cheaper, and so we need to get them more in.
Apart from business, the number of women in political positions is also a source of worry for some women, when the number of appointments in the present administration or portfolio held by women is compared to what was attainable before now.
There is a realization that needs to be brought to fore that if you are going to develop and grow and reach the potential in which this government needs to get to, they need more women. There are women, but they need a bit more to get a balance. And there could be talk that after all, we've had women in other government. What did they do? How did they impact? Did they do well? Some did, some didn't.
So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you deserve to get this, you will get it. I've always tried to encourage women, especially women in politics, to come out and play a role. Because in years back, women were known to be like clappers, singers. But nowadays, if you look around you, you notice that a lot of women are being more active in politics. They are like voicing out their opinion. So it's not a matter of maybe gender does not come into play.
Another solution which the women are selling among themselves is that they need to be confident in embracing their roles and discharging their responsibilities.
Confidence. A lot of women don't have confidence. A lot of women cannot articulate their thoughts. A lot of women are trapped in the fear of stepping out. And the moment you actually analyze and tell them what they need to do or what they're not doing right, then they begin to say, oh, but it wasn't brought to their attention. It wasn't brought to their awareness. A lot of it that we take for granted, right? I constantly say, repeat it. Because you do it naturally, doesn't mean it come natural to the other woman.
The message: women, be confident and optimize opportunities surrounding you, but the rest of the world will have to support the women for the good of the world. Well, coincidentally, I'm a woman and I'm proud to be one. That's it on this episode of Big Story. I'm Amy Thompson.